How to grow turmeric. We use a lot of turmeric in our family. So when we spotted some organic turmeric at a local farmer's market, we brought home 3 pieces of the turmeric root and we planted these. And now, a few years later, the turmeric have multiplied. We now have 2 beds full of turmeric and more growing in small pots. You can grow turmeric in a garden bed, directly in the soil, or in pots, just like this one. We have several pots just like this one. And this entire bed of turmeric actually came from a pot like this one, because even though it looks like there's only one plant, below there are a lot of roots. Turmeric is a perennial in zone 8 and higher. We are in 9B, and while the leaves turn yellow and wilt every fall, the turmeric come back even stronger every spring. If you're in zone 7 or below, you can still grow turmeric in a container, but you will need to bring it inside every winter. Some years we harvest a lot of turmeric and put some back in the ground, but this year our strategy is to just harvest a tiny bit and focus on growing more. But you can harvest turmeric all year round, or you can harvest it all in the fall, or harvest it all in the spring, depending on what your needs are. Now, if you do grow turmeric in pots, it's important that you replenish the soil every year. You can find turmeric in some grocery stores, in many Asian grocery stores, at the farmer's market, and online. Today we're gonna harvest turmeric, and we have these 2 large nursery pots growing with turmeric. This one has been in hot sun, and this one has been mostly in the shade. So this one is turning yellow already, and this one does not produce as much as the other pot. So we're moving both of the turmerics into this big pot that hubby brought home, and we're going to place it in the same spot as the pots on turmeric, so that we can get the big pots and put some fruit trees in them. But this is now full of hurricane debris and some cuttings from the garden. We trim the passion fruit vine. We have some leaves. We're gonna add some compost from the chicken coop, and then we're gonna add a bucket of soil from the turmeric pots themselves. Let's see if we can find some seashells. We have a lot of seashells and rocks in the chicken coop. Oh, there's a big one. We have coquina in our garden, and it then gets into the chicken coop. But let's get started. First we're gonna harvest the turmeric. The first thing I like to do is just loosen the sides of the pot. If you have it in the ground, you can use a pitchfork if you have it. Of course, ours is at the land and it's flooded, so I'll do it without it today. So let me dig around the sides without damaging the turmeric roots. Alright, let's see if we can find something here. And yes, those are little citrus trees you see. Hubby has a tendency of throwing his discarded citrus. Oh, look at this beautiful, into this pot, because it's right next to his car. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna put in a pot for now. Let's see if we can get another one up. Oh, that was just a little one. We're just gonna pull them up, and then we'll see what's hiding below. I like to harvest them a little bit later in the season, usually in December. But because we have the bed ready, we're going to go ahead and do it early this year. Look at this one. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. See all these roots? That's what I like to see. Small ones. Yeah, I need to dig them up more. Well, it could have been bigger. So as I said, usually we wait to harvest until the leaves die back. But it is just not convenient. We have so much hurricane debris, we have these big pots, and it is time to move them into this big pots, into this big one. So I just harvested a tiny bit of turmeric because I'd rather just plant it and go get it as we need it. And this kind of looks like a crowded bed, which it is, but until I get the bed at the food forest better established on higher ground, everything just have to go in here. So now I'm just covering it up, but before I completely cover it up, I'm going to cut off the tops. I left the tops on while I was replanting them, just so I could see where I put everything, and I put down some extra roots. I'm just gonna chop them off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna leave some of the smaller ones intact, like these little tiny ones, but the bigger ones I'm gonna chop off, and then I'm gonna do like this, because it will add some good nutrients to the bed. Keep the nutrients here instead of putting it elsewhere, since this is a new bed and new soil. And then I'm going to put soil on top and wood chips, and that's about it. I'm just going to chop this up some more, put some soil on top, some compost, some wood chips, and that's it. That's the fall cleanup in the turmeric beds. And next spring they'll start popping up, and we'll get lots more. And now the turmeric bed has been put to rest, and we have planted it for the winter with lettuce, collard greens, arugula, kale, a bunch of microgreens. We've tried to get some different stages so we can keep on picking greens until we get frost, and hopefully even after frost. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and visit us at densitreetips.com.